My people perish due to lack of knowledge. It's written there. However, many think this implies that we lack information. Now, information is necessary in understanding what's going on, but knowledge is how you deal with that information in a practical way. Just because you know something, that doesn't guarantee that whatever you know is going to work out well for you. For example, if you find out your husband is having an affair, it can also lead to you losing your mind and attacking your husband or attacking the one he has an affair with. In this case, you knowing what's going on did not work out well for you. But if you have knowledge in how to deal with marital infidelity in a constructive way, then that knowledge will de escalate the situation so that nobody gets harmed any further. So, information in itself is not a blessing if you're not able to handle it well. Knowledge is knowing how to handle information in a practical and constructive way to achieve your goal. Now, you have dark knowledge, where people use the assistance of demons in getting whatever they want, and you have righteous knowledge, which is knowledge that believers gain through experience. Now, you may not have gone through all experiences, especially if you're young, but you have elders who have gone through a lot and you can learn from their knowledge. So, knowledge is not something you have to possess for yourself. Knowledge is something collective. All knowledge begins at the collective before it's attained by the individual. So, when a group of people, when a population lacks proper knowledge, they are in darkness. And Satan wants the population to remain in darkness so that he has a grip on all the individuals. So, what Satan often does is he will come with dark knowledge to keep you in ignorance. So, information in itself will not benefit you unless it's presented in the right context. So, lack of knowledge has to do with how you relate to difficulties in daily life. Now, let me tell you the following. Many believers have been deceived into thinking that they need to know how demons operate, which is true, but what they should know before knowing anything about demons is they should know who their Lord is. First, you know who Christ is, and based on this Christ-centered knowledge, you examine the paranormal. That's what I do on this channel. Christ is the center. No matter how many information I share with you about the paranormal, is always pointing to Christ as Lord and as the solution. What happens in many of those Babylon churches is that believers are told that they're being informed to prevent lack of knowledge. But what really is happening is that the pagan pastor, who's a warlock, is informing them about tricks of the enemy, but not transforming them by granting them the knowledge of Christ. So you may have a pastor that talks about demons all the time. Demon this, demon that. He even goes so far to say that Satan has a kingdom, that Satan has a hierarchy, that Satan has plans. So he is actually glorifying Satan by presenting Satan and demons as this magnificent, glorious structure that they are not. And by doing this, he may not be aware he's doing it. Now, some are, because some know perfectly well what they're doing. But he may not even be aware he's doing this. But by doing this, the masses who listen to him are further deceived. The masses are now informed, but not in the right context. So because they are informed without the right context, they are deformed and misinformed. Because now they will rely on their own understanding on how to deal with demons instead of relying on the power that comes from the Holy Spirit. So, information without the proper context will deform you and misinform you. Information in the proper context will edify you and build you up. So, not all knowledge comes from God. Pay close attention who you're listening to. That's why it's written in the New Testament that we shouldn't have so many teachers. Some believers, they have many teachers that they're listening to. And there's nothing wrong with having multiple teachers you're listening to. But pay attention who you are listening to. Are they Christ-centered? Are they walking by faith? Are they self-reflecting? Are they pointing towards Christ? Look at their fruit. Don't just look at what they say, whether what they say sounds good, or whether they quote Bible verses, whether they're quoting scriptures. Look at the context in which they operate. There are many ministers out there with churches, with ministries that are quite successful, but they're not sent by God. It's demon spirits that initiate those projects to deceive people. And it may take a while before you realize that it's a demonic project. Here's how you recognize a demonic project very quickly. Do they emphasize the resurrection power of Christ? If they do, then the movement is safe. If they highlight patterns and cycles and methods instead of highlighting the resurrection power of Christ, then it's idolatry and you're led astray from your purpose. That's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ and be at peace.